Hey! Yes, welcome back to Body Bags. If you are seeing me right now, DBougie86 here on the fucking Monday, people. That's right, I'm sorry for my language, but it's crazy that I'm here right now talking to you guys. It's been a while, and it's want to give a big shout out to the homie James Cowks, who actually decided to do this special treat for week 300, where he got a bunch of older reviewers to come back and review a film. And the way that they're going to do this is we're going to review the original, and next week, the preceding week, whoever we get on the day are going to review the remake of a certain film. So, in the future, I'm sorry for whoever hosts on Monday. I believe it's Corey who does the Monday reviews here. Because I picked a film from 1980, and it goes by the title of Prom Night. Do, 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 everything is alright. Do, do, do. This gets stuck in your head after you watch the movie. Of course, 1980 Canadian classic Prom Night. Directed by Paul Lynch, who, if you don't know who he is, he's also directed Humongous a couple of years later after Prom Night. That's his other slasher type film that he directed. And yeah, Prom Night's one that I knew, of course. It stars Leslie Nielsen, of course, Scream Queen legend Jamie Lee Curtis. It's been a while since I watched this movie, and you know, every time I watch this, especially with this new transfer from Synapse on the Blu-ray, it looks great, and it's great that this film finally does have like a great transfer, because like all the old like DVD editions of this movie were pretty mediocre in comparisons, you know. So the main plot of Prom Night, it's very simple in plot. It opens up with the event that stirs the later events of the movie. Pretty much it goes 6 years in the past. This group of kids do something terrible, and they hold this secret to their lies and graves, you know, that type of deal, where we're going to take this to their graves. We're not going to tell nobody what's happened. And this secret ends up coming back to bite them in the ass, because the day of Prom Night, a killer emerges who knows about their secret and decides to go after them one by one. Very interesting plot line, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character is not part of the main group of the four friends that are holding this secret to their graves. She's involved with it and connected to it in a way, but you know, with the aspect of that, it's very interesting that she's like the main star, but she's not really like the main setup character, even though she does have a revolving doorway, and her character becomes opponent after the flashback scene ends. It's kind of weird in that aspect too, because it kind of leaves you off for like a I know what you did last summer vibe, even though I actually kind of dig this setup a little bit more than I know what you did last summer. You know, the characters are fun in this one for the aspect of that. It has a slow build up to like the actual slashing parts to it, but I kind of get that with this type of film and the way that the film is set up, with the aspect of this build up to the tension. And you know, the kills themselves, when they do happen, they are pretty standard, if that makes sense. But you know, it's still like the way that the film is displayed, and the big reveal of what's going on and who the killer really is, it kind of makes up for the lack of kills, in my opinion. Because even though this film doesn't have like the greatest kills, I saw myself actually watching this and following like the teenage antics of setting up and getting ready for prom. You know, they have like this big bully guy that becomes like the main like bully in the movie, and his character is very interesting in an aspect too, where he's kind of like in with the main chick Wendy, well, the main like bad chick Wendy, and who's against Jamie Lee Curtis also, but he kind of wants Jamie Lee Curtis for himself too. So it's very odd in that aspect. It's, you know, typical high school politics, that type of deal that I dig. You know, there's some funny shit. Like, even though like the kill itself is kind of like very like edited, like so you don't see anything. There's this fucking funny scene that involves like a van in this movie that cracks me up each time. Even the characters that are involved in that scene always crack me up because one of the characters is a pothead, of course, and he's like, pass me the history book," and the girl that he's with is like, "Why do you want to read history right now?" And he opens it up and it's filled with joints. Typical pothead MacGyver shit right there. It's fucking funny as shit. You know, this is a fun one. You know, with the aspect, even though like it's more of a slow burn slasher in that sense, I still enjoy the antics of following the characters around, and you know, it just tension build. And with the aspect of that also, where you find out what's actually going on, it's kind of heartbreaking in a way, where that's kind of a sad ending, you know, for a movie. Even though it's some cheesy parts, like I said, that van part just cracks me up, and you know, it has like this crazy disco music, which, you know, like that whole main theme, it's like it just gets stuck in your head after you watch this movie and you know all the words. And you know, one major gripe I do have with this movie is it was probably a budgetary reason, but Leslie Nielsen in the movie disappears halfway through the movie. Like, it just feels like his character was paid for. Like, he got paid for like so much of scenes, and they couldn't film more. That's what it feels like when you watch this, and it's kind of disheartening in that aspect too, where you just don't know what happened to Leslie Nielsen in the movie. It's very odd in that too, in that aspect. But you know, overall, I enjoy Prom Night for what it is. It's a very fun slasher for a slow burn. If I had to rate it, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I highly enjoy Prom Night for what it is. It's nothing mind-blowing or anything, but it's well shot. It has some great color schemes, especially when you watch this Blu-ray from Synapse. And also, it's just a fun ride, man. I highly enjoy it. So if you haven't seen Prom Night, check it out. Awesome stuff, of course. Tune in Monday and when Corey reviews the remake for this movie, which I'll let him tell you about that story when he gets to it, but fun stuff. And enjoy the rest of the week. Some familiar faces from the past will be coming back. And I hope you enjoy this week. Thank you again, James, for asking us all to be part of this. It's very heartening to see Body Bags is still going even after I left. And I'm glad that it's still going, man. It's a dream that we all had when we did it. Of course, Moose and JP started it, and all the old cats that were part of that crew. And even when we were part of it, it was a very generous experience. And just want to say thank you. And as always, guys, I'm been kind of silent on YouTube lately, and this brought me back, and I'm very excited to redo YouTube again. So I'll see you then, guys.